this lesson, we're going to review the rate formula. The rate formula is used to calculate the interest rate per period of an annuity. Let's take a look at the formula explanation before we jump into an example. So the formula is comprised of 5 components here. It's comprised of the Nper, which is the total number of payment periods in an annuity. There's also the PMT part of the formula, which is the payment made each period, and that cannot change over the life of the annuity. This includes the principal and interest, but no other fees or taxes. We've also got the PV, which is the present value of the total amount that a series of future payments is worth today. So that's the present value. What is it worth today? The future value is an optional syntax as part of the formula. The future value is the value at the end of the life of the annuity. It's after the last payment has been made. What is the future value? And if it's omitted, then it's determined to be 0. Type is also an optional field. Type can either be 0 or 1. 0 indicates that payments are due at the end of the period, and 1 indicates that payments are due at the beginning of the period. So let's take a look at how we can apply the rate formula within Microsoft Excel to calculate the interest rate per period of an annuity when we don't know it, but we know other variables associated with an investment or a loan. This comes in handy when you're working with loans and investments and you want to determine the interest rate and you just don't have it, but you have a number of other factors. So as you can see on screen here, the formula is equal to equals rate, open parentheses, and then we've got NPER as the first syntax, payment, present value, and then we've got the optional fields of fair value, type, and guess. So let's take a look at an example here. In our example, we've got a company that's considering taking a loan to finance their working capital. 3 options are available to them as noted in the below table. So we've got options 1, 2, and 3, scenarios 1, 2, and 3. The amount of the loan, payment per month, and the number of payments vary between the 3 loans. The company would like to make a decision with all of the facts and wants to know what the interest rate is, both monthly and annually, under each loan scenario. We know that payments are made at the end of the period. So these are 3 scenarios. We've got a bunch of facts associated with the loan, but we just don't know what the interest rate is associated with each of the 3 loans. So it should be pretty easy for us to figure that out using the rate formula. Let's take a look at the solution and how we can calculate the monthly and annual interest rate. If we take a look down below in cell E36, we can see that the monthly interest rate for scenario 1 is 2.85%. The scenario 2 has a interest rate of 8% on a monthly basis, and scenario 3 is 5.8% on a monthly basis. That translates into an annual interest rate of 34% roughly on scenario 1, 95.99 on scenario 2, and 69.55 on scenario 3. So each of these scenarios, we're using the rate formula to be able to determine what the interest rate is. Let's dive into cell E36 to see how the formula is set up. If I open up cell E36, I can see that we're using equals rate, and then we use E33 for the NPER, which is the total number of periods. In this case, it's a loan, so we're putting in the total number of payments, and that's 240. For PMT, that's the payment per payment period, and it's $100,000. For the present value, we're using $3.5 million for scenario 1, which is the initial loan amount. What's the value of the loan at the beginning of the first period? And so it's $3.5 million. So we've got those 3 inputs. For future value, we're putting 0 because the loan will have a 0 balance at the end of its final payment, i.e. at the end of the 240th payment once it's paid off. And for type, we're putting in 0 because we know that payments are made at the end of the period. And when we put that in and we press enter, we can see that the interest rate is 2.85%. So that just suggests that if there's regular installments of $100,000 per month over the course of 240 total payments, then there's going to be an interest rate of 2.85%. On the other hand, for scenarios 2 and 3, the interest rate differs, but the inputs are also different. And if we open up the rate formula, we can see how the formula is set up. It's the exact same structure. We put in NPER, which is in this case 120 payments. The payment amount is $80,000 per payment period, and the present value is $1 million for the loan. and the future value is 0, and the type is 0 because the payments are made at the end of the period. That results in 8% monthly interest. And if we look at scenarios 3, then we can see that the rate formula is set up very similarly. So this is a very useful formula to be able to use in Microsoft Excel to be able to determine the amount of interest associated with a loan or investment without having to manually calculate it. And obviously you need certain information to be able to do this, but if you do have the payment amount per period, you have the total number of periods of the loan and installments for the loan, and you have the present value, i.e. the loan amount, then you can calculate it within Excel using this rate formula. Let's take a look at another example. In example 2, the CFO of a tech company regularly has monthly profits of $20,000 available to invest. The CFO wants to save $500,000 over an 18-month period. What rate of interest is required for an investment to hit its goal if profits are invested at the end of each month? Well, we can actually calculate this using the rate formula. And what we need to do is put in these metrics that we know in the example within the formula. So as you can see in cell E47, we're using equals rate. And then for the syntax, we're using 18 for the number of periods, right? Because it's going to be an 18-month period where we're going to be investing. The amount of payments that we're going to make each payment period is $20,000 because that's the profits that are available each month to invest. The present value is 0 because we haven't invested anything yet. The future value is $500,000 because that's the amount of money that we want to save and have at the end of the 18 months. And we put in 0 for type because profits are going to be invested at the end of each month when the company has generated the profits. Based on that, if we put that into the rate formula, we can see that it results in a monthly interest rate of 3.7%, which means over the life of the investment, we're going to generate a 3.7% return each month. If I were to calculate how much money would be invested in total, I can take equals 20,000 times 18, and that is equal to $360,000 of principal payments that are going to be invested. And the other $140,000, i.e. $500K minus $360,000, is going to be the interest that's going to accumulate over the 18 months at 3.7% in compound to be able to bring the total investment up to $500,000 by the end of the 18th month. So these are just a couple of examples in which the rate formula can be used and applied within Microsoft Excel. We've gone over an example with a loan scenario, and we've also gone through an example with an investment scenario. These, again, are just 2 examples, but the rate formula can come in handy when you're trying to really identify that interest rate or rate of return when you have several variables available within a loan or investment, but just not the interest rate. Hey guys, thanks for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe from you. And if you want to learn more about Microsoft Excel, check out these videos above. And don't forget to check out our website, commercecurve.com, where we have lots of in-depth finance and accounting courses available with full training workbooks. All of our courses come with complete workbooks of lessons, examples, pre-built financial models, and training video.